everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables and welcome to some holiday romances, one of my favorite videos to film every single year because I am a seasonal girl through and through. I love fall romances, I love summer romances, but I also love holiday romances. I'm telling you, when that clock hits like kind of mid-November, my heart is just like, I want to read every Christmassy romance book, just light and fluffy and loving, and I got a lot for you today. I always add on some each year and I got a lot. So today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite holiday romances that if you haven't read, you need to get to. First up, I'm going to talk about my girl, BK Borison. She comes in clutch for holiday romances. Like if you just want the most like warm, cozy, romantic holiday reads, BK's Borison. So she has this series called The Love Life Farms. The first book is Love Life Farms. This was indie published, but now it's been since traditionally published, which I am so happy for because it's an amazing series. So this series is also very seasonal. So the very first book, Love Life Farms, is set in winter and Christmas. Her second book is set at the end of winter going into spring. Third book, summer. Fourth book, fall. You get it. But Love Life Farms will remain my favorite because just holds a special place in my heart. So this book takes place in this small town called Inglewild, and we have a character named Stella who owns this Christmas tree farm, and it's really not doing the best. And so she enters this contest to try to win money from this big influencer. But the only thing on the application, she's like, me and my long-term partner have been running this, only she doesn't have one. Ask her best friend of forever, Luca, to be like, hey, can you pretend to be my boyfriend so I can win this contest and make some money? And of course, you can see where it's going. It's very much friends to lovers, all the yearning, all the small town Christmas tree vibes. Amazing, 10 out of 10, 1,000 out of 1,000. If you read no holiday romance book on this list, read this one. Or actually read the next one, because I just finished it and I'm obsessed. And that is her newest holiday one, Good Spirits. And this is going to be a series, and you know what? It takes a lot for a holiday romance to become one of my favorite books of the year, but freaking BK Borison did it. I should never doubt her. She's just one of my favorite authors of all time. I devoured this. The audiobook, because. So this book is very interesting. So we follow a character named Harriet who owns this antique store called the Crow's Nest. And then one night, she loves Christmas and stuff like that. She's kind of estranged from her family. And then one night, the ghost of Christmas past, aka Nolan, visits her. And he's like, you must atone for all the things. She's like, I think I'm a pretty good person. And then romance happens maybe between her and the ghost of Christmas past. He is, I want to say Irish. He could be Scottish. But the audiobook has both narrators because it takes place from both their point of views. Chef's kiss. Oh my gosh, the yearning, the tension. One of my favorite books of the year. I loved and adored it. It is just so romantic, so warm, so cozy, so Christmassy. I ate this up. Can you tell I'm obsessed with this? Probably not. So I'd say like just pick up either one of these BK Borison books, and I think you will not be disappointed in the slightest. They are just phenomenal Christmas reads. Like if she just wants to write Christmas reads for the rest of her life, I'll be happy. I hope she doesn't because I want to read everything else she writes. But the woman does Christmas romance and she does it phenomenally well. On to another author that's kind of made her way into like the seasonal romances, Lorie Gilmore. So she has two holiday romances. These are also very small town. This takes place in Dream Harbor. This, the Christmas Tree Farm is, I want to say, the third book in her series. And then we have one that just got released. It's The Gingerbread Bakery. They are both small town, steamy. They are steamy, I will say. Romances that you'll just adore. They're just, I mean, are they going to knock your socks off? Probably not. But if you just want a warm, cute, cozy holiday romance, these books have you covered. Look no further. That's just what I think. I always turn to Lorie Gilmore if I just want a quick seasonal read because she's made a staple, man. She's made a staple for some holiday reads, and I'm not mad at her. Another one of my favorite holiday reads is In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. This one came out a few years ago. I still love it. It's very like Groundhog Day, if you will. So in this book, we follow a character named May, and every year her family goes to this like cabin that her family and her parents' best friend's family kind of owns. And at the beginning of this book, she learns, oh, this will be the last year of the cabin. They're selling it, everything's going, and she's like, crap, this sucks. And so on the plane ride back home, she's like, you know, kind of miserable, wishing like, I wish this wasn't the last Christmas. I wish I could find love and things like that. And she falls asleep and she wakes up and she's on the plane again. But this time she's actually headed back to the cabin. And she's like, what the heck? So she keeps reliving the same day over and over again. It says, May must figure out how to break the strange time loop and to finally get her true love under the mistletoe. Not saying it's probably the best friend. Not saying it's probably the parent's best friend's son. But I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it's a fun one. It's very much like Christmas Vacation kind of vibes. I really had a good time with it. Always recommend it. In case you want something a little different, you want some mystery with your holiday romance, The Most Wonderful Crime in the Year by Ali Carter I read last year. Loved it. So this book is, I don't know why I bought the large print copy, but I did, so we're just gonna go with it. So we have two characters, Maggie and Ethan. They are both authors. They write kind of thriller books, and they get invited to this Christmas house party of a recluse fan. And so their publishing company's like, you have to go to this, you have to go. So they go there and they learn that actually it's from one of their favorite authors of all time. And the next morning that author disappears. And so Maggie and Ethan have to team up together to try to figure out, is somebody kill this like famous thriller author, or is this like a chase? Is this like a big scavenger hunt? They don't know. It's set in this big mansion. They're snowed in. It's a fun one. Ethan and Maggie's chemistry off the charts. They have a very hate to love relationship. You get both their point of views. I adored it. I will say this is leaning more on the romance than the mystery. So I'd say it's romance heavy with a very mystery subplot. But either way, I loved and adored it. I wish she would write more books kind of like this, because I just had a good time with it. I think that's what holiday reads are all about, to kind of just turn your mind off and have a good time with it. And this is one of them. Another one of my favorites that just is kind of just, it's a little bit weird, but you know what? It is what it is. And we have Just Like Magic by Sarah Hoggle. So this book is literally like if Buddy the Elf was a real person. So this book follows character Betty, who does not have a lot of money, but she pretends she does. Her family's rich, but she like pretends that she's got all this money and stuff. She's miserable. She's playing some vinyls, and she accidentally plays Mariah Carey's, you know, All Out for Christmas Is You, which I will be one of the ones to say, I think that song's overhyped. I'm not a big fan of Mariah Carey. I know, okay. I'm a Christmas classic girly. Also, the Reliant K Christmas album, one of my favorite Christmas albums of all time. That's just me. Anyway, she's playing the vinyl and she plays it backwards. And then who should conjure up but actually Hal, literal the holiday spirit. He's a person, he is literally he is like Buddy the Elf incarnate. He is just full of happiness and cheer and syrup and candy and gingerbread and all of those things. And Betty's a grump, and so it's very grumpy meets sunshine. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make you love Christmas, girl. I'm gonna patch things up with your family. You're gonna love Christmas by the end of it. And of course, love happens. It's just so cute. It's a little bit weird, but I had a great time with it. Now, if you want a more emotional romance for holiday romance, One Day in December is one of my earlier ones I've read, and I loved and adored it. Gosh, this is just a sweeping kind of holiday romance where it takes place over many years, and there's this kind of yearning love going on. I freaking ate it up. So this book follows a character, Lorie, who is miserable. She doesn't believe in love at first sight, and she's on her way home. She's like wearing her angel stuff from the department store she works at, and she stops at a bus stop because she's in a bus, and she sees this guy at the bus stop, and she's like, holy crap, like, and he looks at her and he's like, holy crap. And they both try to get off to meet each other, but it doesn't work out. And she's like, that guy, like it was like true love at first sight. And then we flash forward to a year, and she's still thinking about this guy she saw at the bus stop, but her roommates like, and her best friend's like, hey, we're gonna throw a Christmas party. I want you to meet my new boyfriend. Who do you think her new boyfriend is? But mysterious bus stop guy. And she's like, crap. And so it's all about them yearning for each other while he's in a relationship. They don't make the best decisions, okay? But overall, I freaking ate this up, loved it, highly recommend it. Of course, if you just want, honestly, a full-on funny, steamy series that you could just really turn your mind off for, Meghan Quinn's got you covered. Last year she wrote How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I didn't love this one as much as other people do, but it's still enjoyable. Her newest one that I'm currently reading right now that just came out is Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. See how we're gonna do? She's probably gonna do, maybe like Christmas Vacation next. I don't know. We'll have to see. But either way, these take place in this small town. And in this book, we follow a character named Cole, who is kind of the Christmas grouch. And then this girl that from his past moves back into town, and they compete in this big, like to be the Kringle of the Christmas like town, because they live in Kringle. I forgot about that. And basically, it's this big contest where like the biggest Christmas fan gets town like the town Kringle, and so he competes against this girl out of spite, and of course romance happens. Very grumpy meets sunshine, very, very steamy, also very long. That's one thing I don't love. Like, this book is almost 500 pages. It has no business being 500 pages. Like, no. This one's maybe a little bit shorter. Let's see. Like maybe like 430. So it's a little bit shorter, which I agree with. This one follows Cole's best friend, Atlas, and his family owns this Christmas tree farm, and this girl Betty is moving into the neighboring farm and maybe making a competing type of thing, and so he's like, oh no, no, no. So it's very kind of like that, but Atlas is very lighthearted, very funny, very witty. It's a cute one. I think I like this one more than the first one, but either way, if you just want like some good steamy funny Christmas romances, she's got you covered. And lastly, I'll end with ones that I don't own, but I read on ebook, so if I don't remember a lot about them, please forgive me, but I do really enjoy them. Catherine Walsh writes some phenomenal holiday romances. First up, Holiday Romance. This is about two characters that both live in, I want to say it's Ireland, I want to say, in this, or maybe a small town in England, and they both live in America, and basically one year they take the same flight and they kind of connect, and so every year on Christmas kind of time, they take the same flight, and that's when they talk. That's really the only time they talk throughout the whole year. But this year, the flight gets canceled, and she's like, that's fine, I'm really not close to my family. But he's like, I love my family, I need to go home. And so she makes it her mission to get him home, and kind of romance and feelings develop, and it's super cute, super adorable. Love it. Then we have the sequel to that one following one of our main characters' brothers. The book's called Snowed In, which coincidentally, the book is about two characters being snowed in. This is a second chance romance, and these two characters get stuck in a cabin where they have to talk about their feelings, and yearning and tension comes out, and it's so amazing. Like, Catherine Walsh, I think she has a new one coming out even this month, and it's about all of the main characters from the first book's family, like short story collections of them, which I'm like, I need to read ASAP. But yeah, those are all of my favorite holiday romances. Like I said, I add on some every single year, and I love reading them. I truly, truly do. Some that are on my TBR that I am reading this month, if I've not already read them, because I am filming this a little bit early. The Holiday Mixtape by Limbri Stowe I'm planning to read. A book by Lauren Blakely, I think it's called Merry Christmas, and I think that's all the ones I'm trying to read. But either way, I always add on more every single year, because there's always a lot of holiday romances that come out every single year, and your girl eats them up like cotton candy. I would love to know some of your favorite holiday romances. Please leave them in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.